QSR Media caught up with Clovis Young, founder, Mad Mex, at his flagship store in Darlinghurst, Sydney, to find out more about this emerging QSR and his plans for 2011. So tell us about Mad Mex.
So Mad Mex was founded in December of 2007. It's been a pursuit of passion. We've been working on it for the last 3 years. We've grown from 1 store to 9 stores over the last 3 years. And we are anticipating opening another half dozen stores in the next 6 months to Australia, specifically to open Mad Mex. So that was the plan. That was in early 2007. By December of 2007, we were trading. This store here, Crown Street, was our first store. It's in Darlinghurst, near the intersection of Oxford and Crown. It's kind of a busy area with lots of young people, and it's been a great success. So we opened the doors in early December to a long queue of people out the door, and it's basically been a long queue ever since, so it's been great.
What do you look for when you select new sites?
Site selection's critical. We look for areas that trade 7 days a week. We look for areas that trade for lunch and dinner. We think it's important that we have a lunch business and an evening business. Certainly the demographics are important, so our customers are 18 to 35, for example. People that are too busy, people that work in office buildings that have busy lives and want fresh, high quality food served quickly. And that's really our specialty. It's restaurant quality food, it's all very fresh and healthy. We recently switched to rice bran oil, so all of our restaurants are rice bran oil. There's a 0 trans fats in our food, and you can get a meal. You can walk in and have a meal and be on your way in a minute, 2 minutes tops.
How was 2010, and what are your plans for 2011?
2009, we brought in our first 2 franchisees. One of whom was an ex-McDonald's franchisee and had worked in the McDonald's company as an employee for 15 years, so he was really a solid franchisee candidate. And he came to Mad Mex and was very impressed with the systems we had built and the online training tools and video training tools. And he says, in some ways, Mad Mex is a better run company than some of the big companies he's been around. So that was quite complimentary. And our other franchisee had a coffee club, and they bought a Mad Mex. Fast forward a year now that both of those franchisees are buying a second franchise. So 2010 has been a great year for them. It's been a great year for us. We've grown nearly double. But we've also worked on the systems and the tools and getting the profitability right so that franchisees are making good money and they're quite keen to buy another store. So that's very important. The franchisee who owns the coffee club is selling a coffee club to buy a Mad Mex. So I think that's a compelling story of the value, not just from a customer standpoint, because we think ultimately Mad Mex is a great value for customers, but from a franchisee standpoint. So it does deliver the returns and also delivers a business model that's easier to run, perhaps, and is overall compelling to potential franchisees. So that's great. We've moved from a company-owned business to a franchising business. We brought in some key marketing people. We've hired a marketing strategy consultant firm that's been working with us to help us communicate those great things we're doing here in the store to the greater public. So we've launched a franchising website. We've begun marketing the franchising business opportunities much more aggressively, and that's showing some pretty substantial returns. So as of last check, I think we launched our franchising website 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and we currently have something like 150 people who are interested in Mad Mex, and we have a half dozen people who are quite serious who are writing checks. And I'd say the momentum is really picked up, so that's great. 2011, we are opening a store in Queensland in December of 2010, so that will really start trading in 2011. So it'll be in the middle of Fortitude Valley, dead in the middle of the walking mall, the pedestrian mall. And I think that's a fantastic way for us to introduce Mad Mex to Queensland. And we certainly expect to be opening more stores in Queensland. In addition, we've taken a lease at Melbourne Central in Victoria, so also a chance to reinforce and reintroduce the Mad Mex brand into the city and CBD of Melbourne. That should be opening up in April or May. We're quite excited about that. So there's a lot planned. We expect to grow from 9 stores to closer to 20 stores by the end of next year.
What attracts franchisees to Mad Mex?
Well, I think you have to start with what attracts customers to Mad Mex. Ultimately, our business is only as good as the number of customers that routinely come in and want to give us they're $12 or $15. So Mad Mex is about supplying great Mexican food. It's about customizing that Mexican food so that they get what they want. It's about making some of these healthy choices and doing the things we can to make it a healthy option. For example, the rice bran oil, trans fat free. It's about the quality of the food. So ultimately, our business is 100% dependent on our turnover, and turnover is great. So I think that's first and foremost, a franchisee wants to know what's the revenue look like, and the revenue model for Mad Mex is quite good. In addition to that, we have put in place fantastic systems. So we have built a central kitchen model that delivers a lot of the intellectual property and the challenging bits about making great Mexican food are delivered to the store pre-cooked in a bag. For our online training videos are something like 8 hours of online training. So all new staff come in, they watch videos, they have to answer questionnaires, and all of this allows us to grow and scale and deliver that training to franchisees to then give to their staff. So it does allow us to, it makes life easier for the franchisee, and ultimately that's what our job is. We see it as a job of delivering a business model and a business solution that allows someone who's not necessarily a restaurateur to run a great restaurant business.